Fort Mose timeline in St. Augustine, Florida. From 1492. $15.20. It says a typical form of slave bondage. $15.30. Encounters between Spanish conquistadors and American Indians were often violent. $15.60 and $15.65. Menendez. Spanish soldiers attacked Fort Caroline and killed most of the French settlers. The 1600s. The British founded Jamestown 42 years after the Spanish established St. Augustine. 42 years after. So we were already here. 1619. Crowded ships carried slaves from Africa to the English and Spanish colonies. 'The first documented African slaves arrived in Jamestown. First documented, but we were already here. 1670. Castillo de San Marcos, 16-foot thick coquina walls were constructed. 1687. Slave owners placed advertisement like this one to help them find runaway slaves. And if caught, runaway slaves faced punishments including torture and death. Also had the black militia. $1700s, Queen Anne's War. $1720. Francisco Menendez and the enslaved black militia defend St. Augustine. 1739, slave revolt. 1740, English accounts refer to the battle as Bloody Moshe or Bloody Mose because of the intensity of the Spanish attack. That was here in St. Augustine. 1759, residents returned to St. Augustine and Mose. 1763, 48 men and women and children from Fort Mose boarded a schooner and sailed away from Florida. 1784, the English used Fort Mose as a defense outpost during their 20-year occupation of Florida. 1812, though the actual fort is gone, Fort Mose will always stand as a monument to the courageous people who risked their lives for freedom. Fort Mose was destroyed and abandoned in 1812. After the English gained control of Spanish Florida in 1763, the Spanish colonists, including the Moshe residents, moved to Cuba. The resilient free Africans started a new life in an unfamiliar land. The Spanish also gave them tools, seeds, and a slave to help build their new homesteads. Incredible. Incredible. Shalom.